Hiya! Thanks for joining me today. Today I wanted to talk about shapewear and in particular talking about cleavage wear. So today I'm wearing this new shapewear, which is a breastplate which I got recently from a company online called Boobs Shop, which is run by Jean Lazareva. Now you can find Jean on Facebook, you can find Boobs Shops online. I will give you the link to their website. But I went for the C-cup with the gel filler. So that's what I'm wearing today, which I'll show you a little bit closer in a second. What I want to cover off today is different styles of breast forms, how you can wear those and how you can use them to achieve a convincing shape in different circumstances. Because whilst this look with the cleavage is really very attractive, it's very realistic, there is a nature to these types of tops, these breastplates, which means that they are impractical in certain circumstances. So unless you want to be very obviously wearing this and you want it to be clear to everyone that that's what you're wearing, you need to be able to address different styles for different circumstances. And depending on your particular dress style, you may find that one works particularly better for you. And this may not be the style that works particularly well for you. So first thing to cover off is around creating your own cleavage. Now I've done a video on that previously, which you can find in my Ask Me Anything type series of videos. What I would say about creating cleavage is the more flesh you have, as I said, then the better. If you don't have a lot of flesh, and I don't have a lot of flesh naturally up top, I find it quite difficult to create a natural 3D shape from my own chest, particularly the flesh on my chest. I can't do much with that. So I have to lean more on contouring, and whether you're great at contouring or not, contouring always looks better from a distance than it does up close. Once you get up close, it becomes very obvious. So if I wanted to create something that gives you a realistic shape, I have a choice. I can wear breast forms, which I need to cover, or I can wear a breastplate, but then I have other limitations on shape and type of outfit that I can wear, so it doesn't become absolutely obvious that I'm wearing a breastplate. This type of outfit that comes quite high up the sides here, and then the hair which falls down and covers the side here, is ideal to be able to wear with this style of breastplate. It's not going to show up the lines on the edges, which are around about here, by the way. That's where the lines are on the edges of this breastplate. So anything that exposes the shoulders is going to expose the line on the edge of the breastplate against your flesh, and therefore it's going to be very obvious what you're wearing, and it doesn't look particularly nice. If you're not bothered by it, go for it, do what you want to do. But for me, I don't want to show that line, therefore you want to steer in the direction of certain types of tops. Halter tops, for example, low cut, sort of slung t-shirts are very good. Anything that comes over the shoulders and make sure you've got that line, at least some form of line coming down here that will cover up that edge. They work really well. So I'll get a bit close and show you what these are actually like up close. So this is the cleavage as you see it up close. As you can see, there's not much to worry about in terms of the actual depth. You can't really tell that this is not natural. You have to wear some kind of choker around here in order to give yourself a cover for this area, because without that, you have the line here. So that's covering up the line. You also have the line on the edge here. So you're looking to cover up this line here. So that's not exactly obvious. But what you get from these is very good texture. They're quite realistic in terms of how they sit and how they act, for example, as boobs. I won't show you any more than that. Not that kind of video. But that's what you're looking for with these types of breast forms. They're very good shape, fantastically made, great delivery. I thoroughly recommend the company. I'll put in descriptions down below. But I think these are great shape, great style, and they work perfectly. Complete recommendation for me on these, absolutely. Good stuff. So in terms of other options, other than this particularly expensive number, which was, this was really quite expensive as a form of let's say, breast form and cleavage. There are other options that are available on the marketplace, and I've kind of gone through most of these at some point in time, depending on the needs and let's say how much budget I had available at the time. So first thing to talk about are these, which are what you would call your standard typical teardrop shaped breast forms. So these are extremely good for certain circumstances. They're made from silicone. Again, you can get these from various online shops. There's no problems with finding these online. The thing I would say about breast forms is that they tend to come in two main shapes. This is the teardrop shape. So this shape is your standard oval, almost like an egg shape teardrop, which is quite versatile because you can essentially turn the angle at which you wear it. So as to have it give you more, let's say, tapering around the side, depending on what you need, perhaps up towards your armpit. So the tapering that you can get from this is very useful. What I do find, however, is that it's the kind of breast form shape that I quite like to wear if I'm trying to wear something underneath a strapless top. So if I have a top which is going to come just here, basically on the top of my cleavage, this shape of breast form can be placed sideways like so, wrapped around the side, and you get this nice line here which you can hide beneath the line of a dress or a top. So if you're wearing something that is strapless, this is a really good number to have underneath that. Otherwise, if you're not wearing strapless dresses, then any kind of shape or form is going to be fine for you. It's really just a case of personal preference. However, for a lot of people, buying both types in order to find out what is your personal preference might be a little bit expensive. These effectively get me up to a C cup. Virtually everything I do gets me up to around about a C cup. I don't like to go much bigger than that. I did in the past, but I don't have those anymore, so they have kind of left my my inventory, as it were. But these are great for under strapless tops or just all-purpose type usage. Now, when it comes to other types, there are triangular forms as well. So this is your teardrop shape. We also have triangular breast forms. Now, inside this bra, which I'll show you in a second, we have the triangular breast forms. So if I take one of these out, these breast forms, as you can see, have more of a straightforward triangular shape. So we have the tapered top and at the sides, but it doesn't have the same degree of overall shape, as you can see, from the teardrop. So you can see it's much shorter as a style. And this is more your standard in a bra type breast form. Now, because they're effectively only one size, there's one way up, which is quite obvious. They have to be worn this way up with the slightly more curved pointy top here. And they're particularly good at being worn inside this kind of bra. So I'll bring this a little bit closer. This kind of bra, as you can see here, very sheer, smooth. It's not going to show anything underneath a dress, for example. Very plain, straightforward bra. This type of bra has inside it, as you can see here, a mesh sheet which keeps the breast form in place. So the breast form sits inside this pocket and then sits inside here. So it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to fall out. This type of bra is effectively available from all of the typical cross-dressing type shops where you can buy the breast forms. So where you get these, you'll usually be able to pick up these as well. And this creates the nice sort of outline that you're looking for. The breast form slips inside the pocket here. So it's quite easy to place inside the pocket. You can take it out, obviously, to wash it, which you want to be able to do. But the main benefit is that it's not going to fall out. You're not going to have any issues with losing these on the course of an evening, no matter how much you bounce around or dance or whatever else you happen to do with your time. So these are really, really useful. What I like about these is that as a standard bra, this is just going to go on as you would with a normal standard bra. Very straightforward to wear. It's great for under t-shirts, great for under more, let's say, dresses that have more of a higher neckline, because you're not going to see any of this type of material. And yeah, very simple. Little bit of decoration here with this sort of leaf effect, but really it's just for plain usage and day-to-day wearing. So great if you want to be able to throw something on, have it be reliable, simple, straightforward. And again, we're talking here about a sort of C cup. So this is again about a C cup size breast form. Okay, quite nice feeling. These have lasted pretty well. I mean, these are, I think these are now, what, maybe 7 years old actually, these ones. They're a size 6, which you can see here, which obviously depending on your size and shape, this breast form, if you're a larger person, on you would give you a smaller cup. If you're a slighter person I am, it would basically be a bigger cup. On me, it's about a C cup, similar to these ones. This is a C cup size breast form for me. So when you're choosing breast forms, it's a good idea to have a very clear idea of what your correct back measurement is. And then based on that, you can give yourself some idea of what would be roughly a good size breast form for you. And all of the companies that sell these have nice charts where they easily explain the back size of a bra that you would wear with the cup size and then the number. And you can see there's a bit of overlapping. So you might find, for example, that this type or size of breast form would equate to a, you know, if it was on a 32-inch waist, or 32-inch chest rather, person, this might be a D cup. Whereas on me, it's a C cup. On someone larger, it would be a B cup. That's kind of how it works. So depending on how big you are, you're going to need to choose something that gives you the right size for what you want to achieve based on your actual physical appearance. So these are great. I like these a lot, but there's nothing sexy or, you know, flashy about this. It's pure form and function. But for that, very, very good. Now, one other option that I will use quite a bit is to actually go out without breast forms on at all. So if I show you what I use for that, if I'm wanting something a little bit lighter, I would simply opt for this style of very heavily padded bra. Now, this is something that I would throw on if I just wanted to go out very quickly. I'm doing something where I'm not particularly worried about my appearance. I'm not trying to appear a certain way, for example. I just want to put something on and head out. Especially if, for example, I'm wearing a very tight-fitting top, dress, something like that where it's strapless. And I don't want the weight that you get if you tried to use this style of breast form. This style of breast form under in a strapless dress, if you haven't got the straps to hold it up, it's going to create a lot of weight. If you're not sticking it down, and I don't stick mine down, if you're not sticking it down, then it's going to cause a lot of weight. And if you've got a strapless dress, it's going to start pulling and you're going to end up with it sagging down. I don't particularly like that. You can basically give this support from underneath, either with tape or with a simple strapless bra. But for a long evening's wear, I don't find they work particularly well. And frankly, if I'm preferring comfort over style, and if the strapless dress itself is working well enough for me, all I would typically do is I would do some limited creation of my own cleavage. And then below that, I would wear this type of heavily padded push-up bra. And this would sit underneath your own cleavage that you've created and will give you a nice round undershape where you have created some overshape from your taping work. I'll bring this a little bit closer. So as you can see with this bra is by F&F. So it's a Tesco bra, Tesco push-up bra. And as you can see, or you might not be able to see, but this is a very thick cup. Just spongy foam, but it's a very thick cup with a lot of padding. And all that does is give you a nice undercurve here, which if you are doing your own cleavage with contouring, or you've taped, or you've used, let's say the sticky bras that you can then pull together, This will give you some extra support underneath and will create that extra curve that you're looking for in order to round out the bosom. But I quite like this, and I will quite happily throw this on with no taping, with no contouring, just throw it on, and I will wear this if I want to create some form of shape, but I don't want any of the weight. So in summer, for example, where I don't want the weight, I don't want the heat of, for example, this breastplate in summer, very sticky. It's going to be, if in hot weather, it's not going to be comfortable to wear for maybe going out during the day. I wouldn't want to be wearing this if I was out in the sun during the daytime. It'd be far too hot. For photo shoots in the summer, for winter wear, for evening time, especially in cold winter's evenings, this is fantastic. But on a daily basis, going out in sunshine, I couldn't get on with this. Maybe you're different, you might find you have a different way of approaching these things. But for me, I couldn't get on with this kind of breastplate. So I would simply wear a shirt, something like this underneath, the old Mickey Mouse ears. And with this, you can head out, you've got some shape, but you're not over the top, let's put it that way. And I really like that for that purpose. Anyway, so that's my the bra type that I wear for general all-purpose type wear. Very useful. Again, this is £10, so it's so cheap to be able to create this. You can stuff these. So if you are into stuffing with socks or with hosiery, for example, that also works as well. I don't do that. I use this because I want the smaller shape. I don't want the larger shape. And the cup that we've got here, this kind of curve, it's not an all-encompassing cup that you can then stuff particularly well. This is meant to sit and show cleavage because it's meant to be a push-up bra. It's meant to show a really nice sort of line of cleavage in here, a la this. That's what you're meaning to show. So when you take that away, it sits a bit closer, creates a little bit of a nice curve, but it's not the kind of bra that you would stuff. You'd need something with more of a full cup to be able to do that. So those are all of my breast form type accessories that I use. I have a combination, as I've shown you, of the plate, which I've acquired very recently, the teardrop cup breast form, the triangular breast form, and simple padded bras, which give a nice outline under clothing, but are much lighter and don't require so much support in order to give you a decent shape. The other thing I'd say with this type of bra is this one does not have detachable straps. The straps are sewn on. But if you have one with detachable straps, because it's so light, it is then perfect for creating shape underneath a strapless top. This one I do wear with the strapless top. I simply fold these straps down like so, and I fold them inside, and then I wear it like so, basically as a strapless bra. As long as you keep these bits tucked in and underneath the line of your dress, this works perfectly well. And so that way, I tend to economize on things. I don't tend to spend much money and buy specific items if I don't need to. I find that this works perfectly well if you just tuck the straps in and then just fasten it up at the back. And because it has virtually no weight at all, it's great for holding up a strapless dress or giving you some form of definition and support beneath a strapless dress. So that's what I do. That's my my review or my advice, as it were, on breast forms. That's what I personally have. I've had others in the past, but I've either got rid of them or they've faded away over time. So most of my stuff's lasted a long time. The breast forms themselves, some of them date back 7 years. They're showing a little bit of wear and tear, but they're not. There's nothing about them that says I couldn't wear them. I would still happily wear any of them out today, and I do wear them all out today. So I don't feel like, although they could be a very expensive purchase, they can easily set you back 60, 70, 80 pounds, for example, depending on what type and size you're going for. Much more if you're going for this style. But if you're going for that kind of breast form where you want the weight, you want the shape, you want the sort of feel of the reality of that weight on you, then you cannot beat breast forms. The main thing I would say is, when I first started, my tendency was to think, you must buy bigger. And I would find myself going for a D size or an E cup, for example, when it really wasn't necessary. And today, the one thing I've learned is that unless you're trying to create something that is specifically a very, very much larger figure, you don't need anything more than a C. These are a C. These are plenty big enough. I don't need anything bigger than this. That's perfectly good for me. So, any comments? Anyone got any questions? Please let me know down below. That's 2 of the 3 videos for shapewear. Covered off already the hip padding, now covered off the breast forms and chest augmentation. The next thing to cover off, which will be the final video, will be on corsetry, and I'll go through the corsets that I own. And that's where I've probably wasted the most money by buying things that, for reasons of weight gain and loss, are now no longer usable to me. So that's one where I'll probably do a fair bit talking about lessons learned and different styles. I've got at least 2 different styles of corset, but I'll try and go through the various different styles that are available in the next video. So thanks for joining me today. Any questions, as I said, let me know down below. You can ask me anything through my website, which is at www.julietnoir.uk, or you can get me through my email address, which is juliettesnoir@gmail.com. As I said, any comments, any questions, let me know down below. You can find links to my email and my website in the description of this video. And yeah, I look forward to hearing if anyone's got any comments or suggestions or anything else. Always interested in learning more and finding out if anyone's got any other tips or advice they want to give. Thanks so much for watching this. Feel free to like, share and subscribe. And as ever, bye! Bye!